Have you ever wondered why some brands excel at capturing our attention and others seem to get lost in the crowd? Well, one crucial aspect of successful branding lies in the packaging design, specifically making sure that the front and the back of pack work harmoniously to convey a clear and impactful message. Importantly, that both the front and the back each have clear and distinct roles. So today we're going to be looking at the pet food aisle and talking about a particular piece of packaging that struggles with this, Purina Go-Cat. Recently, I came across an eye-opening podcast that shed light on a common pitfall that's the tendency to overload packaging with multiple claims and information. The truth is, by trying to communicate too many things at once, brands often dilute the overall effectiveness of their messaging. In today's fast-paced world, consumers are bombarded with information from all directions. They've limited time and attention spans, which means that capturing their interest requires simplicity and focus. That's why it's crucial for brands to be single-minded in their packaging design and hone in on one or two key claims that truly resonate with the target audience. The podcast I mentioned earlier highlighted a fascinating phenomenon. Consumers tend to assign point scores to the claims they see on packaging. When multiple claims are present, they average out these scores, resulting in a diluted impact. So if a brand has a lead claim that scores a perfect 10, and another claim that is less important and scores a mere 2 or 3, the overall average will be much lower than relying solely on the power of that primary claim. This tool is being used successfully in marketing and communication for pharmaceuticals. If a particular drug, say, has a likelihood of increasing the chances of heart attack, then by also lifting multiple minor ailments or side effects that are possible from consuming the drug, then this dilutes the principal cause for concern. Makes you think, doesn't it? Overloading brands with multiple claims and benefits, rather than working for the brand, can actually work against it. So this brings me on to the Go-Cat packaging. Now, pet food is traditionally a busy sector. Consumers are desperate for their pet to be part of the family, so nutrition and benefits become a primary concern for them. This is probably why many pet food brands stack the front of the pack with multiple claims and benefits. The net result is information overload and, well, a bit of a mess. When you stack so many claims onto the front of pack, it becomes hard to distinguish which is the front and which is the back. So as you can see in the image accompanying the podcast, on the Go-Cat pack, the brand logo, the claims, the cats, the signposting, benefits and iconography on there are all treated at a very similar size, all competing with one another, leaving masses of room and negative space around the pack. Now, negative space is not always a bad thing. It can work for you, particularly in crowded spaces. Creating a bit of an oasis of calm is usually a good thing on pack. Well, you would say that. However, that relies on the rest of the pack being treated so that you can access the information fairly readily and fairly easily, and so that those other elements that are on pack aren't competing with one another. The other factor to mention is that the loading of the front of pack with so much information means that separating the hierarchy of communication becomes incredibly difficult. Everything ends up having equal weight and prominence, and it becomes difficult to navigate through why this should be your brand choice. It's much better to do one thing well, rather than claim a superpower that's all-encompassing. Consumers simply won't believe you, and as I mentioned earlier, you end up diluting what should be your key and lead benefit. Therefore, the key takeaway here is to use your claims wisely. Instead of overwhelming consumers with an abundance of information, identify the core value proposition of your product and prioritize it on your packaging. By doing so, you increase the chances of your messaging resonating deeply with consumers and leaving a lasting impression. The pet food industry serves as a prime example of the power of simplicity and focus. By avoiding the temptation to overcrowd packaging with multiple claims and information, brands can elevate their messaging, captivate consumers, and drive meaningful connections. So whether you're in the pet food industry or any other sector, take a moment to reflect on your branding and packaging strategy. Are you communicating a single-minded message that resonates with your target audience? Are you prioritizing your key claims and ensuring they shine? Or are you overloading your consumers? that's it. That's a wrap, as they say. I hope you found it informative. If it adds value, then please do subscribe. I'm Al, owner and creative director of Slice Design. You can follow me on my LinkedIn page, which is linkedin.com/in/Alan Gilberty, or you can follow us on our company website, which is slicedesign.co.uk. So until next time, have a fantastic week and keep well.